In 2025, I hiked 28 different trails, and this video is going to rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite trail. And at the end of this video, I want to go over my 2026 hiking goals. Starting at spot number 28 was Multnomah Falls, only because it was very icy and we couldn't go more than like 50 feet. There's one overlook that we started at, me and my friend. We brought our dogs on it. We barely got up to it, and it's like it's before the switchbacks. You go up there and it's got an overlook of Multnomah Falls, but it was all icy. So we could get up to that point, take our photos, whatever, but we couldn't go up the trail anymore because it was covered in like a thick sheet of ice and we didn't have micro spikes. But getting down it was really funny. My dog, Mr. Argo over here, he was kind of struggling because he doesn't have a grip on the ice, so he's confused. But I was able to go down past the little ice bit where it cleared up some, and then I was able to tell him, "Come on, buddy," and then he just like let himself slide on the ice and go all the way down, and I caught him. I had to do that with my friend's dog too. It was really funny, but it was very cute. He trusted me enough to catch him. The ice is really why this is in spot number 28. Number 27 on all trails, the trail is called Lake to Lake Trail Loop via Lacamas Park. It's in Washington State. It's just a normal city park hiking trail. It's pretty flat, goes around a lake alongside a river. Nothing super exciting, but it wasn't a bad hike. And spot number 26 is Battleground Lake State Park. We just walked around the lake there. They don't allow dogs swimming there, which was kind of the point that we had gone there. So my friend's dog and my dog can go swimming, but as soon as we got there, we saw signs that said no dogs in water. On spot 25 is Lincoln Park Trail. I don't remember what this one is. Maybe that's why it's at the bottom of the list. And spot number 24 is Waukena Falls Loop. I've done this one before. It's not my favorite. It's a little boring, but this time in particular, we did it in the rain, and it wasn't supposed to rain till after we did the hike, but it did, and it was an absolute downpour. Saw a bunch of waterfalls, so that was cool. There's like 6 on the trail, I think. And spot 23 is Smith Rock River Trail. We were gonna do the whole thing, but when I mean me and my dog, we were gonna do the whole thing, but when we got there, I wasn't feeling good, so we only did like 3 miles total. It's very flat, easy walk, but you see a lot of wildlife, so it's very pretty. I just was not feeling well. And spot number 22 is Jack Creek Trail. This one was a camping trip with some friends. I had my dog, my friend had her dog. We were walking on the trail. The dogs are running up and down the trail playing or whatever. I liked the trail. It was nice. It was close to the campground, but he had injured himself somehow. I didn't see it, but I thought he broke his leg. A little river that went alongside, and I think that's when he ran out of it and then stepped over a log funny or something. I'm not entirely sure, and hurt his leg, and he was screaming, and it was not a good time for me. He was fine afterwards. He's like, "Stop looking at my leg. I want to go play." He didn't care that much. And spot 21 is Oregon Coast Trail Part 1. I have a goal to complete the whole thing, not at once. It's going to be over the winter, but then recently Oregon and Washington have had a lot of rain that has closed down a lot of the highways and the roads getting out to the coast or being able to leave from the coast. So I'm not sure how doable it will be, but we'll still try to do parts of it. It's like 400 miles, give or take, if you take the road parts, but I'm gonna do it with my dog, and there's not really sidewalks along the highway, so we're just gonna skip those road parts and just do like the beach parts, or some of the trail goes through the woods, so we'll just do that. We did about 6 miles. It's just beach. Peter Iredale came up to that. That's pretty cool, but it's just never ending flat beach. It's not super exciting, but I'm still gonna do it. He loved it because he gets to play fetch the whole time. I don't, because I'm the one throwing the stick the whole time, and we did like 6 miles. And spot number 20 is Pittock Mansion via Wildwood. This is a trail name on all trails, which is the app that I use for most of my trail hunting. The most popular and has the most reviews and stuff on it. But this trail is in the city of Portland. It goes through Forest Park a little bit on the outside, and then it goes up to Pittock Mansion, which is a historic site. I looked it up one time, but I can't remember anything about it. I'll throw in some details in the video. Overlooks the city of Portland, and it's really cool. And then you can see Mount Hood in the background. There's a giant bridge that he did not like. He doesn't really like heights. He likes looking, but he doesn't like heights. And spot 19, I called this the Tamalau Falls Trailhead. It's out in Cove Palisades State Park. And I only call it the Falls Trailhead because the actual trailhead, there is a parking lot to it, but I misread the sign and then kept going to the oversized parking, extra boat parking is, that kind of area. And then that connects to the trailhead, but that's like, I think that's an extra mile, but I didn't realize it till much later. And I was like, oh, okay. But he got to run around and play and find a bunch of sticks as a German Shepherd does. Why that's in spot 19. And then spot 18 is the actual trail, Tamalau Trail. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a native name, but it wasn't a bad trail. It was like a lollipop trail. So you start at the bottom of a mountain kind of, and then switch back up, and then you loop around the top and come back down. But it's out in Bend, kind of like the high desert area. You can see a bunch of mountains around it, like the Sister Mountains, a couple of the other ones. It was like 7 or 8 miles total. It wasn't bad. It was a good little morning walk. It was very cold that morning too. Spot number 17 is the Wenatchee Riverfront Trail. It's not like your standard hike. The riverfront trails, normally I wouldn't count it as a hike, but this was my first time there, and I don't know if or when I will be able to go back to do it again. So I kind of count it as a hike. I also had wanted to go hiking, but I didn't have any of the appropriate gear for it because it was snowing up there and in the mountains. I'm not a snow hiker. I don't have the skills. So that's why this counts as a hike, and it's in spot number 17. Now our hikes are leaving the state, and spot number 16 is the Grand Prismatic Overlook over in Yellowstone National Park. The hike itself was boring, but the overlook to the geysers was really cool. Spot number 15 is Mosier Plateau. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it's in the Columbia River Gorge on the Oregon side. You take a couple switchbacks up to the top of not a mountain, like a hill plateau area, and it's got a bunch of wildflowers. If you go in the late spring through the summer, you can see a bunch of yellow flowers. They're really pretty. Area's full of ticks. Ask him. It's a nice one. I've done it a few times. I bring my friends up there every now and then and we do it. Spot number 14 is Memaleuce Overlook Hike, and it's very close to the other trail, the Mosier Plateau Trail. It's also similar vibes. You go up, there's 2 hills on the trail, and they're just covered in the yellow wildflowers. They're really cool. And then spot 13 is Painted Hills. I had wanted to go to the Instagram Painted Hill spot, but we took the wrong turn or didn't go far enough. I don't remember. But this trail overlooked part of the Painted Hills landscape because it's a whole park. And I got some really cute photos of him there. I got some great landscape photos. It was really cool. I would do it again. It's very short though. And spot 12, I believe is pronounced Wychus Overlook Trail. It's also out in Bend. I had done a 20-mile race in the area before and just happened to see this on Google Maps when we were looking for something to do. So this trail takes you out to an overlook spot, and you can see the 3 sister mountains on the one side, and then this goober and his friend got to run around and play, and it was very cute. I got cute photos of both of them. Spot number 11 is still in Oregon, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this correct. Ekala State Park and Tillamook Lighthouse Viewpoint. I don't remember this trail exactly, but I remember a giant parking lot. There's some trail kind of around it that give you different viewpoints of because it's along the coast, it give you different viewpoints of the ocean, different spots. And there's some rocks sticking out of the water, look really cool. And then you can see a bitty little tiny Tillamook Lighthouse off in the distance. We went in the woods some a little bit, but it was late spring, so there's wildflowers and stuff around. It's really cute. Spot number 10 is the Knoll via the Thumb. This was a trail I've been wanting to do for a while, a couple years actually, and I finally did it. We got there and it was muddy. We got to the top and we kind of had to stop early because you couldn't go down the hill and then back up to on the actual thumb, because when you started going downhill there's a giant tree and a bunch of mud, and we just kept slipping and sliding, and I was like, this isn't worth it. We can probably get down, but I don't know if we'll get up. So we just left, but I have some cool photos of it, and the waves were really big. Spot number 9 is Dry Creek Falls via the PCT. This was a hike I did with my friend and her dog and my dog. Pacific Coast Trail up to a waterfall. It's really cool. Did it with a friend and her dog. This same friend that I keep taking on the hike, but those two, we got some cute photos and stuff of these 2 goobers. Spot number 8 is Littoral Falls hike. We did this one after our Multnomah Falls hike attempt. This one was pretty short, 2 or 3 miles, and it loops you around Littoral Falls. There's a lower viewpoint and then an upper viewpoint. It was a little icy, but not as icy as Multnomah Falls. Spot number 7 is back out in Bend. It's called Good Dog Park River Loop. There's this dog park out there. It's off leash. It's a huge park. There's trails all over the place. It goes back to a river, and on all trails, one of the trail loops that we did just went all the way around it. It was a couple miles. He got to run around and play and sniff stuff, play in the water. And then spot number 6 is in Seattle, the Washington Park Arboretum. It's a pretty big park. I've done it a few times. I like it. There's so many trees there and different time of year. It looks different. It's really great. I do like that one. Also in Seattle is Discovery Park and Lighthouse Loop. This one was really cool. You walk through the forest and then you come out along the coastline, and then it it takes you to a lighthouse. You can kind of go up to it and explore it a little bit. It's all like closed and whatnot, but you can look from the outside inside. The only thing I didn't like was the dogs weren't allowed on the coast, and the trail looked like, at least on all trails, and we know how accurate all trails can be, it looked like you can go on the coast and then around it and then walk along the coast and then get back. But they had signs everywhere that says dogs aren't allowed, they disturb the wildlife, and you can get fined for it. And I was like, I don't really want to risk it. So we just went back and kind of double backed, but then we took a different route back to the parking lot. Spot number 4 was Molten Falls hike. And this was also one I've been wanting to do for a while. It's one of those ones that you like see on Instagram. The bridge, and then if the water's high enough, it can make like a full circle, and that looks really cool in photos. Took my friend and her dog there, and I've got very cute photos and videos of them. And there's another trail over in the area that takes you up a mountain that we want to do at some point. I think it might be Silver Star Trail, but in spot number 3 is Silver Star Mountain. I did that one with him. Less than a mile into it, I'm pretty sure I heard a bear. I never saw it, I did hear it, and I was trying to tell myself it was something else. Pretty sure it was a bear. Spot number 2, we leave the state again to what's called the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. It is super cool. There's this parking lot for an overlook trail of the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. So you hike down the side of a mountain, bunch of switchbacks. It's kind of exhausting, and then you overlook this giant waterfall that goes into this giant massive canyon, the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. And then the top spot is Ice Lake Trail, which is in Colorado. Me and my brother and Mr. Argo over here did that trail. It was like 6 miles, I think. Climbs up to a mountain, couple lakes at the top. It's very pretty. We saw the sunset, which was really cool, but neither of us like hiking in the dark. And we had heard coyotes as soon as we got to the top, and we were the last ones there. We started much later than we had wanted to. So they were all great trails, and I'm hoping for the year of 2026 I can do a lot more hikes. I want to do the 52 hike challenge. I did over half of it last year because I was trying to do it last year, but I didn't.